Hello, scholars, and welcome to week 5 of POL 452, Organizational Theory and Design. Like always, it seems like these weeks just fly by, and yet we are already here at week 5. So let's go over what we have in store for us this week and look forward to this now that we're on the downhill side of this course. So this week we have, when we look at our weekly agenda, we're talking about the dynamics of change. So we built up to this point. We talked about the kind of the principles of change and what the behaviors behind change. We looked at some of the ethics of change. Now we're going to look at the dynamics of change this week. So in our implementing organizational change, we're going to be in chapter 6, and in our managing organizational behavior, we're going to be at chapter 13. And then we have 3 deliverables this week. We have a case study number 2, making the problem work, out of our implementing organizational change text. We have a journal number 3 and a quiz number 5. So there's a quick little introduction that you can read through. I've included both the readings. There once again is the PowerPoints that we should get used to, the one out of the Spectre text, and the dynamic change of managing organizational behavior. Once again, I would look through the PowerPoints, see all those key points, and then as I dive into the reading, I have something to reference. Then let's look at our deliverables this week. So we have our case study number 2. It's coming out of page 147. Let me make sure that's page 147 of the Implementing Organizational Change text. Prepare and submit an answer to the 3 questions on page 147 of the case discussion. This should be presented in a simple format. Statement of the questions answered by, or statement of the question followed by the answer. Be sure to answer each question completely. Use complete sentences to your answer. Use ideas or themes from the reading to support your answers. So pretty straightforward. Like I said, I really enjoyed the text because it does present these case studies, and then we can take the knowledge that we have gained on organizational theory and apply it to real life case studies. So I look forward to reading through your case study number 2. I think of everything that we do in this course, some of the case studies is what we benefit the most from. So I hope you see the benefit as well. Then journal number 3, I switched this up a little week. If you've looked earlier, there was a couple videos. I really didn't like the videos, and there was some bad links, and I couldn't find any more relevant videos on the short time frame. So I changed this up a little bit. So the journal number 3, what are the rituals of your organizations? What are the expected unwritten rules of behavior? What are the taboo behaviors of your organization? And how does knowing these norms impact your performance and your ability to be effective? Content-based submissions should be 300 words. Remember, it's a journal, so it's that kind of that private submission, your private thoughts. And remember, this is only I'm not the only one who's going to be able to read these. And I think these are some key elements that we need to discuss. I know we talk about organizational theory, and at a theoretical context, that's how it works. But then we know a lot of times that theory and reality are 2 different things. And so I'm looking forward to reading what are some of the unwritten rules, some of the rituals of your organization, some of the taboo behavior of your organizations. I'll give you an example for the organization I work for. I work for the fire department, and so we're on 24-hour shifts, and I believe our time frame is 7:30 to 7:30. But the unwritten rule is that everybody shows up to work at 7. That you get here early, you let the other individual that you're relieving get off duty early, and that's just like an unwritten rule that everybody, knowing that their shift starts at 7:30, but everybody's here at 7 to just allow that transition to occur. There's obviously no punitive. There's no repercussion if you do show up at 7:30. It's just an unwritten rule. And if you are an individual that doesn't show up early for a shift, then that is probably going to be a little bit issue within that informal organization. So just a very, very simple kind of context and an example. But I know that we have several others, and I know that all organizations do. So I'd just like to hear from that. What makes someone stand out? What is that taboo behavior that isn't in any ethics book, that isn't in any rules and regulations, isn't in any employee's manual, but is what makes your organizational click? And understand that this informal organization is much more powerful than the formal organization. We know that these informal organizations that occur within an organization a lot of times are what steer an organization, and that's where we get a lot of these kind of behaviors from. So I'm interested in hearing these. And then finally, we have our quiz number 5, and this is just a multiple choice short answer. There's a short essay question in there as well. So take that, and remember with this, when you submit it, you're not going to get a grade instantly because I have to grade that short essay question. I think there's one of them in there. But that's what we have for week 5. So just the 3 deliverables. We all understand, and we're doing great on the deadlines and the late work submission. I know that there was a little issue or a hiccup with Blackboard this week, and that happens. There's all kinds of things that are going to happen. I just liked how you guys communicated with me, those of you that had some issues, and we can work around anything. And I think we addressed that from the very get go. So let's just keep hitting those deadlines. Let's keep that quality of work coming, and just that reminder that although we are at week 5, that critical assignment is getting ever so close to us to being needed to be completed and submitted. So remember, a narrated PowerPoint, that you need to build a PowerPoint and you need to narrate it, and how you're going to do some organizational change within your organization or an organization of choice. Remember, here we go, the dynamics of change. Last week you had the ethics. So once again, you're taking all these little building blocks, you put those all together, and that is your organizational change project. If you really wanted to break it down, you have an intro slide, you take 6 or 7 slides from each week, and then a conclusion slide, and that is your presentation. And you could use each one of the slides as the topic of the week. And that's just an example of how easily you can put this together, utilizing this kind of modular technique of 1 week at a time. But I really look forward to that. I look forward to actually hearing your voices and hearing you talk your way through how you are going to use the concepts of this class to reorganize and change your organization. So let's not forget about that. I think I might actually put together a additional video sometime this week or at the beginning of next week that is strictly about the critical assignment and what we're looking for. So I'll get that together for you. So once again, have a blessed week. If you have any concerns, questions at all, get a hold of me. Email me and we'll work our way through those. Keeping you in my thoughts and my prayers. I hope you have a very successful week, and let's finish these last remainder weeks with the same tenacity and energy that we've had for the first 4 weeks, because I've been very impressed. So bye for now, and I'll look forward to reading all your assignments this week.